Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So Errol Spence said that it's inevitable that one day he will face Terence Crawford in the ring. As of right now, Errol Spence is the IBF champ at 147 pounds. Terence Crawford is on his way to unifying the 140-pound division. And you know what? Before I get into this Errol Spence stuff, let's talk Terence Crawford real quick. Now, he's going to be fighting Julius Indongo next, right? This is the same thing we heard when he was fighting Victor Postal. Everyone said, oh, Victor Postal's about to be his toughest opponent. Oh, Victor Postal could possibly beat Terence Crawford. Oh, Victor Postal's long and rangy. Oh, Victor Postal got his ass beat. Remember that? What are they saying about Julius Indongo? Oh, he's long, he's rangy. Oh, he's crafty. Same dumb shit. Julius Indongo ain't gonna do shit. For the first 3 rounds, Bud is going to lay back and figure this guy out. And for the remainder of the fight, it's really going to be up to Terence Crawford whether or not he wants to knock Julius Indongo out or outbox him or just play around with him for the rest of the fight. Because that's what Terence Crawford does. He's light years ahead of his competition, man. Indongo ain't shit. I'm not finna go back and watch. I saw a couple of highlight videos of Julius Indongo. I don't give a shit what he did this year. That nigga ain't beating Terence Crawford. Y'all keep saying, oh, Indongo got that smoke. He got that smoke. The fuck you talking about? If he got that smoke, then he should stand a chance at beating Terence Crawford. But the majority of y'all saying that Terence Crawford's still gonna win. Cause y'all know what time it is. Y'all just looking for an opportunity to say that Terence Crawford beat a tough opponent, and you want to use that to justify the fact that he's #1 pound for pound, okay? And that's cool. That's all right, man. Terence Crawford's nice, and I ain't gonna get mad if you put him as #1 pound for pound. But let's not act like he's fought the best competition out there. I mean, 140's dry as fuck. It's dry as shit, okay? That's why we talking about this Errol Spence, Terence Crawford shit, because after Terence Crawford beats the living shit out of Julius Indongo and takes his belts, just like he planned on doing, that was his plan from day one, to unify the 140-pound division, right? And then he's going to move up. He's going to move up to 147, and he'll probably get a nice little, little B-level fighter, somebody, one of them Robert Guerrero type niggas, and then he'll fight the champions, like Errol Spence. And I like Errol Spence because he's not afraid to call anybody out. He's not afraid to name drop. He wants these big fights. Unlike some of you guys' favorite fighter at welterweight, Keith Thurman, a guy who, when you ask him about Errol Spence, he starts freezing up and stuttering. Go back to that Showtime clip where he's wearing that bait fucking hoodie or whatever that shit was, and they ask him, oh, you want to fight Errol Spence next? And he's like, whoa. Can't even catch his own sentence because he's shook. But, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, hopefully that's the fight we get down the line. But, Keith Thurman injure himself every year without providing us with any medical records. But we're not here to talk about Keith Thurman. We're here to talk about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Now, that's an interesting fight. Errol Spence is a big welterweight. I'm not sure if Terence Crawford has trouble making 140, but I think he's like 5'8". Errol Spence is like 5'9". I would assume that Errol Spence will outweigh this dude by a lot on fight night. But Terence Crawford knows how to win, man. He just knows how to win. And I'm very conflicted here. It's not like I really want to see. I'm not that excited for this fight, to be honest with you. I would prefer to see Terence Crawford versus Keith Thurman. I'd prefer to see that fight. But as far as Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are concerned, I think Terence Crawford has more in his arsenal. But I'm not sure if he could take a punch from Errol Spence. I'm not sure if Terence Crawford could take a punch from a welterweight, period. We'll have to see. We don't know if Terence Crawford's power is going to translate to 147. We don't know these things, which makes it hard for me to make the decision as to whether Terence Crawford can beat Errol Spence or not. Now, I would assume he would just try to outbox him and just... He's going to be moving around a lot in the fight, basically. He's not going to trade with Errol Spence. That's not going to happen. But Errol Spence is good at cutting the ring off, man. And his body work is second to none. The fight with Kell Brook, everyone says he was losing the entire fight. But he pulled off that knockout. TKO, really. But who's counting? He stopped Kell Brook. That's the big thing, right? So maybe I would like to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. It's a good fight for boxing. It's a good fight for the welterweight division. But honestly, I think, I don't know, Bud is just nice, man. He got hands. I really don't see anybody beating Terence Crawford. And at the same time, I really don't see anybody beating Errol Spence, man. It's hard. Like, I could see anybody making an argument for both of these guys. And I wouldn't get upset if you pick one over the other. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think Terence Crawford could beat Errol Spence? I don't know. The jury's out for me, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all can make y'all predictions. I'm not going to make a prediction just yet because Terence Crawford's not even at 147 right now, and Errol Spence can't even get a top welterweight in the ring with him because they're all shook. So why talk about it? But it's just interesting because, you know, he did make that statement in the media. He's mentioned it before about Terence Crawford, and, you know, I'm sure Terence Crawford wouldn't be afraid to fight Errol Spence, you know. I'm sure he's confident in his game. Both of these dudes are killers. So, yeah, both of these dudes are, you know, a couple of my favorite fighters, actually. But, like I said, you guys let me know who you think wins this fight. If you got Bud, if you got the Truth. But I really want to see Terence Crawford fight Keith Thurman, bitch ass. I'd love to see that fight. I'd love to see Keith Thurman running around that ring trying not to get knocked out. Because he's not going to outbox Terence Crawford, that's for sure. But damn, Keith Thurman be punching at them weird-ass angles, man. He got a lot of power, too. I don't know. We could potentially see Terence Crawford versus Danny Garcia, too. They got some unfinished business. You know, Danny Garcia was running from Terence Crawford at 140. There's a lot of matchups for Terence Crawford at 147. Who else? No, Pacquiao's damaged goods. I mean, Terence Crawford could potentially unify 140, and then he could come out the gate fighting Jeff Horn and take that WBO belt from him off the rip. But damn, it's going to be hard to negotiate with them PBC fighters, though, man. This Cold War is not really over. It's not over when it concerns, you know, top names. Like you get somebody like a Ghost going over to HBO, or somebody like, what's that dude's name? Give me a bum in PBC. There's a lot of bums in PBC, but somebody like Amir Khan can go fight on HBO, no problem. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying he got a granite chin either, though. Damn, just any B-level fighter could go over to HBO and fight Terence Crawford and get their ass beat. But, you know, you talk about bringing over Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, it's a little different when you got two A-level fighters fighting each other from two different sides of the water. So, I don't know. We may not ever see those fights. It's really tough to say, man. Boxing is full of bullshit and politics, man, and it's mad annoying. So, again, what's a good matchup for Terence Crawford at 147, aside from Errol Spence? Just drop a comment, like the video, subscribe. I'm making some shitty videos tonight. That Deontay Wilder video suck. God, man. I don't even want to listen to that shit. I don't know. Deontay Wilder's a bum. Always will be a bum. If he fights Luis Ortiz, he's still a bum. If he gets knocked out, he's an even bigger bum. And if he stops Luis Ortiz, he's still a bum. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.
Because I want to step up with opponents. I want to fight the best. And I think 147 is a low division with a lot of great fighters. And I want to fight the best. And for order me to be the best and to get world titles at 147, I have to fight the best.